Episode 3 of the 2022 Scuffle for the Shovel. Excuse me, 1v1 Kubb Championship. We are in Concord, North Carolina for the first stop in the 2022 Atlantic Kubb Tour. This is the 1v1. This is what's going to separate people to start out the year before we get into the team tournaments. We have gone through all of the preliminary play, and we are down to the last 8, the quarterfinals. We're going to cover all the quarterfinal matches today. These matches are one-game matches, so you better be on your game from the start. I am Stu Gander. With me, Sven Heikes. Sven, how you doing today?
Doing great, Stu. Looking forward to these quarterfinal matchups. One game, like you said, and it's going to be interesting. Hopefully we see some good Kubb.
Yeah, and certainly there's the potential for upsets here because if you come out of the gate and you're cold from 8, or you're not drilling well, or you're not blasting well, you could be out of the tournament immediately.
Yes.
So here's our championship bracket. We got the 1-8, Dan versus Dave, Jeremy, Mike, Drew, Bryant, Bob, Lee. We're going to cover 3 of these matches today. We don't have a camera for one of them. But we're going to start out with the 1-8 matchup. We saw last week Dave Cantwell, cousin Dave, got a win in round 5 to secure his place in the championship bracket as the 8th seed. He's going up against Dan Corey, who had a nice win against Bob Heikes in round 5 to secure that number 1 seed. Dave won Nick Bartlett's hair in round 4.
Yes,
so you can see he's very excited about that, and has a nice king toss to start it out. So Sven, who you got in this one?
I favor Dan on this one. I think I think he's just a little more consistent than the Cuz overall, and I think Dan's gonna take this down 1 versus 8.
Yeah, I would agree. Cousin Dave, obviously very fired up. He's got hair now.
Doing an Irish jig back there.
Yeah, he is fired up. Yeah, I mean, I would favor Dan as well. Dan is, Dan has got all parts of his game going and can win any match. The only thing that makes me nervous about that pick is that cousin Dave can get very hot and can be very cold at times too. But in a one-game match, there's no telling. But I mean, I would say most of the time I would probably pick Dan in this one.
Well, that's the beauty of Kubb is, it's basically, it's all about efficiency, and you can't let your foot off the gas no matter who's on the other line, because you just never know. Anybody can get hot. Anybody can put together 3 fantastic turns and knock you out, or 2 turns even. That was a good start by Dan there. 2 out of 3 8s with that was a meatloaf, and even though the graphics department missed it.
Nope. He missed. He had 2.
Was that a 6 baton turn?
No, that was 2 to clear.
Oh, it was 2 for 2. You're right.
Yeah, he missed his first. Yeah.
So it wasn't a meatloaf. So I apologize to the graphics department there. It was my bad.
It was a 2 for 2. Yes. I don't even know I was going to say a 2 for 2 turkey, but that's not even. No, it's not.
It's nothing. But it was still a good finish considering he missed a single.
Yep.
And I think that's a good start. You want to get on the board early, put a little pressure on Dave here. It's a good group by Dave though.
Had it going in the right direction to try to pick up something, but
nothing wrong with 3 with 2.
No. So 3 in hand.
This would be a meatloaf.
Yes. Or not. Well, he's dropped 2 of them in the exact same spot.
Yep. Oh, he's 2 more.
If you had another few inches there, he'd have been. Oh, picks one up.
All right.
So 1 for 4. Went 1 for 2 to start. 1 for 4. That comes out for 2 for 6. I think that's what it is. Yeah,
yep.
2 for 6 in my book. I think if I get out my abacus, I think that's 33%.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Count a lot better than your cousin does.
Yeah, that hooked on phonics math is really helping me out these days.
Nice. All right, but here in quarterfinals, I mean, same basic weather conditions too. There's a light
A warm
breeze.
front didn't come through and make it 80 degrees in
45
between.
degrees.
Yeah, about 45 degrees today. Not much wind. Little bit of wind here and there, but not much.
But most of it's, if there is any, it's coming in cousin Dave's face or at Dan's back.
Yeah.
So
yeah, this is a tournament where in some of the previous years there have been some pretty windy days. Today is not one of them. There's been some cold days. There's been some rainy days.
That 2018 edition was pretty windy and also cold.
Yes, that was. I don't know what the ambient temperature was, but the wind chill was.
It was cold.
It was cold.
Yeah.
What was it, 20, Dan picks one up. Was it 2019 where Mike Davids drew Gander in the final?
The rain, yeah.
It just started pouring rain. It was soaking wet.
It was almost like the cold November rain, except it was January.
Yeah.
And that one did not look particularly fun, and I was pretty happy that I didn't have to commentate that one.
Yeah. Yeah, that one was very. So 2018 was windy. 2019 was rainy. 2020 was.
That was pretty nice.
Yeah,
I feel like that one.
I feel like
that one. Bob was wearing shorts.
Oh, okay.
So I think it was probably like low 50s.
Yeah, it could be. That's about average for this area for this time of year.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2021 was a nice sunny day. It wasn't particularly cold. Probably about 50 degrees.
Not bad.
So yeah, good.
Woo.
Good. Oh, Cuz just sailed that one.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like there's a triple.
Did it again.
2 field goals there.
Yeah, his problem isn't power.
No.
It's usually rotation and or accuracy.
Well, I don't know how you picked up that double. That was
Yeah.
Yeah, he had I don't know how he picked off those two. That was interesting how a baton can make it through all of that. But pressure clear and almost the runner too.
Yep, it was good to get one there. You don't want to leave a line, especially at this stage of the game.
Yeah, when it's one game to send you home, that could have been the end of the tournament. So Dan's going with the Michael Jackson method, which is one glove.
Yes. That is. Maybe he'll rip out a moonwalk here at some point.
Oh, that would be sweet.
He's got 5 in play. 2 base cubes. Looks like a decent drill if he can. Well, he's got 1 retoss, but keep these batons clean. He should hopefully be in the red zone after he gets the field cleared.
Let's see what this last one.
Nice shot.
That was real nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I mean 5 in play. I think he can definitely clear this with 2, maybe even 2 or 3. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean I think from the limited amount that we've seen so far of Dan, I mean obviously we saw that match with Drew that he gave 3 advantage lines in a row and Drew couldn't close it out. And then he just had a really nice match against Bob. I'd say the biggest thing with him, and I think it's pretty on par with most people who've only been playing for 9 months, is consistency. I mean, here's throwing away 2 batons right off the bat on a good group. Really, consistency with these short batons seems to be biting him a little bit. I mean, obviously, he wanted more than a single there. That was a nice shot.
That's what he
was looking for the whole
baton.
time. It took him 4 to get there. mean, no one's
Clear.
perfect, but you got to be able to, like, you missed the first one, hit that shot in the second one. Only, stop the bleeding is the key.
Yep.
Nice
Well,
shot. He still comes away with the
rescues the turn a bit there though too.
Yeah, I mean that's massive. Just to be able to okay, you threw away a few, but you still hit the 8. That's huge. We've said it before, and I'll say it again. Like just continue to make ground if you can, and sometimes mentally, those last 8s when you only have one left and you feel like you didn't get what you should have out of the group and you made some mistakes. To be able to stand up there and put a good shot out there and hit that 8 is huge mentally to be able to do that. So
looks like Cuz is filling it up in the drill here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
almost.
Neighbor.
Almost. I don't think he got it though. I think it's leaning.
Oh, he's got rethrows.
There's a neighbor. You're right. It's up there. All this brown on brown, Stu.
Yep. Tough to see.
See if he knocks it off. I think he's going to keep it up there. Whoa!
Oh, is that in?
Neighbor and a penalty.
Oh, yeah, neighbor. Yep, that's going to be a penalty. Neighbor and a penalty, all in one.
Have you ever watched the Mr. Rogers movie with Tom Hanks?
I have not.
Don't.
I don't. I don't have
Dude.
really the attention span to watch movies, to tell you the truth.
I hear you. It was rough. From what I didn't even finish it. I couldn't finish it.
I was a fan of Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers and PBS in general, huge in Norway.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I was a big fan of Mr. Rogers back in the day.
Dave's looking at putting this by an 8.
That's what it looks to be.
So that's the penalty. He could put it by the penalty if he wanted to. Trying to double that off.
Yeah, he's gonna put it by the penalty, Kubb, I think.
Don't put it. Okay. I mean,
it's an interesting call.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with the neighbors for me is, trying to get the group in one if you can. At least you want it to save you a baton somewhere, and maybe this is where he will. I don't know.
It just seems to me that. I mean.
Oh no! See, that's what you don't want to do.
Oh, I don't know how that happens.
No, that's the danger of doing this. I've seen people put the penalty or the neighbors in front of 8s, kind of on an offset, trying to double it off, and I just, unless there's absolutely no advantage that I can find putting it in the group, I'd probably still put it in the group. But
I would put it in the group because I just think, let's say even if you did pick up that double with the penalty and the neighbor, I don't see what it gets you. Because, I mean, you would have had to make that shot anyway. So why not just put it with your group as opposed to, trying to hit a one-off shot? It just doesn't conceptually, it doesn't work for me right now.
There might
I could be convinced otherwise, though.
I feel like there might have been places to put that in the group that if he hits a beautiful shot, he probably maybe could have got a kick out and got all 4.
Yeah.
Maybe he doesn't have that shot. I don't know, but I'm always thinking percentages, playing percentages. That's basically what this game is. I'm not a huge fan of the placement there, but to each their own.
Yeah.
He got away with it. He just
didn't
get anything else. He didn't make any ground.
Dan taking some chances with the rethrows there. Had 2 of them that went up right on that edge. Looks like it paid off, but not his best drill.
No, he's got 2 kind of out, maybe 3 if you count that back one. Back one at least is in the zone that it could get friendly fire type of stuff happen.
Yeah.
But still got 6 in play. Looks like he's got 4 in the middle there, 2 on the outside. Got the double.
Looks like there might be a double, possibly a triple here, but that would be a tough triple. He gets the double.
Yeah, could see the double happen. Triple would have been a tough ask, but
yeah.
Nice shot.
That was a nice shot because there was some junk in the front.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are
Clear.
tough. Yeah, almost
So-
under rotated it, but he pulled it off.
So Dan is in the red zone. I almost said red line. Red zone.
You watch too much hockey.
Yeah. Yes.
Norway.
No.
I'm sure your fellow Norwegian citizens are gearing up for the Winter Olympics coming up here. That's like their Super Bowl.
Yeah. Well, without NHL players playing this year, you know.
I mean, in general, Drew. I mean, they do a lot of the cross country skiing.
Oh,
They do
the cross country.
speed skating. Speed
Please,
skating's huge.
come on. The where they go off the ski jumping. Oh, please,
the
go crazy for that stuff.
bobsled, luge.
Oh, please.
You know, I mean,
Yeah, all that stuff.
It's not all hockey.
No. But I will say, you know, since I'm in the U.S. quite a bit, commentating and scouting these teams, I will say that without the NHL players playing, now the USA hockey fans will have a chance to get disappointed by American players they've never heard of before, as opposed to being disappointed by American players they have heard of before. So, I expect a solid 5th place finish by the Americans.
In hockey.
Yeah, in hockey, yes.
Yeah. No, I don't have any idea who's playing on any hockey team because no NHL is.
Yeah, without the NHL players,
it's unfortunate.
Like, right.
You know, I think the U.S., Canada, or the Russians, Norway, Sweden. They all have good teams. If you
Czech Republic is usually pretty good. Jaromir Jagr probably playing this year.
He's 86 years old. Will probably be playing. All right, back to the Kubb. Dave splashed one there. Has quite a bit.
Quite a task on his hand here. 2 penalties, a miss in there. Yeah, this is going to be a tough one. Dan only has 1 baseline left. It would be big for Dave to pick this one up to make it at least a decent throw. And he does. So Dan gets an advantage, not nearly as much as it was.
He's only got 4 Kubbs to group out here. I mean, it's an awkward line, but you got. I don't know. I would be thinking.
I'm gonna go ahead and call this one.
You think it's over?
Over.
Depends on this drill. It's a little bit harder. That shot to the base Kubb could be a little awkward. It's right in that in between penalty range. That
I think if he gets if he can get a double out of this somewhere, I'm going it's over.
All right.
And I think there's a double in there somewhere.
I would agree. But he also might throw away 1 or 2 because if he tries to rotate it, which I think he might have to. I'm not sure he has the stab from here.
Yeah, I think that's probably too far.
And that's a tough rotation. It's barely clearing.
Yeah,
no double.
There's no doubles.
Almost missed that. So close.
He's still in the red zone.
Nope.
Oh, not no mo.
Not no mo.
That's what we say in Norway. Not no mo.
Not no mo.
Yeah, it goes
baseline clear.
Yeah.
Like I said, that's a tough distance. I would think you might be better off stepping back and a little bit, making that a 4-meter shot rather than that in between 2 to 3.
It looks like an advantage line of about 1.5 meters.
Unless you have the ability to not rotate it from there, which is difficult, and that's a shot that takes a lot of practice. Still, it's good to go baseline clear. He's in a very powerful position here against Dave.
Yep. Nice bit of sportsmanship there by cousin Dave, as always.
With the 2 penalties and not picking them up, I think it is all but over. It's
Yeah,
just
that's a world of hurt when you got 2 penalties out there. There's 2 more rethrows. Yeah, and the 2 penalties are going to kill him, I think.
yeah. I mean, best case of all best case scenarios, he's able to get an 8 here. Like, he clears the group in, let's say, 3, hits the 2 penalties and an 8. That would be absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I was going to say that would be a turn because I don't know if you got 2 or 3 on this group, and then you have to go single on the 2 penalties. Yeah, I mean, I think if you're getting a shot at an 8 from here, you're probably doing pretty well for yourself.
I would agree. But when you're leaving Dan baseline clear, at the very least, you're going to need both penalties in play to go to 7. I don't think Dan's probably would get too uncomfortable until he gets to maybe 9 or 10. Even then, I mean, and that just depends on whether he's going to throw away batons. Like, as long as he's clean with the batons, it doesn't matter.
Right here, there's a
See,
double.
there's 3.
So he went double, single, double. That's pretty good.
And there's 3. There's 1.
Oh, and almost got the runner too.
Yeah, that was a nice shot.
Now he's got 2 at the penalty.
Boom.
Oh, what a turn.
He's got a shot
He's
at
got
it.
Wow. Oh, and he picks up the 8. What
he's
a turn.
Fired up.
What a turn.
Oh.
The belly bump.
Oh, Brian's into it.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, look at him.
He's fired up.
Fired up.
Big
he should
Mo.
be.
Yeah, that was a hell of a turn.
Dan's just looking at it, say, well, I'm still baseline clear with 8 in play there, cuz, it was a good turn.
This is a matchup, by the way, this is a matchup of the team members from Rimshot from the Blasters who came in second. They were teammates in that tournament. Yeah, so they played together all day. They know each other's game pretty well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Dan looks like he's working on a drill. Oof, Dan's working on a nice drill here.
He's laying him right into the old basket there and just filling it up. Look at that.
Oh boy.
Apparently Lee just got really fired up back there too.
Yeah, he did.
Brian's
into
it.
This is a nice drill here.
Yes. Yeah, this one will work. He only needs 5, so.
Yeah, he's clear. So yeah, I mean he's got this in 5. Should at least, unless he starts throwing them away.
Yeah, I think the big.
Oh, there's what
nice
was that?
Shot.
6? Yeah, that's a nasty blasty. Single.
8 with 3.
There he goes. Boy, Dave had a great turn, and now Dan comes back with a nice drill and a nice blast, and that is game over.
Shut the door.
Shut the door. So Dan advances on to the semifinals. We'll see who he's playing here in a little bit. So Dave Cantwell finishes up with 1.0 and 43%. Not bad numbers at all. Dan Corey 1.5 and 50%. That's
solid.
That's both very solid numbers. So Dan advances to the semifinals, gets to the final 4, where we're back to 2 out of 3 matchups. So there is the updated championship bracket. Next match we're going to have is Drew Gander and Bryant Cook. We are just talking about matchups of teammates from the Blasters. Bryant and Drew were teammates in the Blasters, playing as the Yarmir Loggers. Mm-hmm. So it's 6 seed versus 3 seed. They did meet up in round 3 where Drew knocked Bryant off. I will say, it's scouting them at the Blasters. That was Bryant's first tournament ever. This is his second tournament. Bryant's very solid from 8. In a 1v1 scenario, though, you got to have the full game, and I think his drilling is probably something that he's going to have to work on, and so I would give probably Drew the advantage in this one. But we'll see. One game, never know what's going to happen in one game.
I would agree with that assessment. I think, Drew obviously is defending champion here. 3 versus 6. Yeah, I think the 6th seed is a great result for Brian in this qualifying rounds,
Absolutely.
considering this is his second tournament ever, first 1v1. You know, I don't think he can complain at all about a 6th seed. I think he came out and fought hard and put some good turns together and
Yeah, had some good wins too. I think in round 1 he knocked off Lee Northrup.
yeah.
Yeah, so he beat some players, and I believe in round 5 he knocked off Nick Bartlett. So he had some
Yep.
good wins today. We'll see what happens in this one, but yeah, absolutely, 6th seed is definitely something to be proud of, and
No, nice.
picks up 2 to take a 2-coup lead. Yeah, got a lot of potential. He is when these two played together at the Blasters, he was the 8-meter guy,
Mm-hmm.
and did pretty well. So.
Yeah, I think Drew just needs to focus on hopefully having a good turn here, getting more cubes in play. I think more cubes in play is Drew's friend.
Yes.
So that's got to be the focus. And let's see. I think that was the right call there by Bryant.
Yeah, I agree. Makes it a little bit more of an angle. Still looks like there's a double.
Yeah, just a tougher shot.
Fairly easy double in play, but yeah, it's slightly harder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was the shot right there. So Drew's got 5 in hand. Should be able to pick up 2 or 3 here.
I'd say at least he wants 2 or 3.
Yep. That was not good rotated and not good distance either. And that was the same exact shot.
Just a little short. Needs these 2, Stu.
Yeah.
Really needs these 2. You don't want to give him. Oh,
he
turned
moved it.
It's crazy, and with basically there's not a lot of resistance as far as grass to
No.
keep things up. He hit it pretty solidly.
Yeah, turned.
Yep.
Turned and moved a few inches. You would think it would go down. Yeah, not what he was looking for. 1 for 5.
No.
20% isn't going to cut it.
Let's see what Brian can do with this drill.
Yeah, so this is what it's going to come down to this match, I think. That was pretty nice right there.
That's a good start.
Yeah.
He has the rarely seen step drill.
Yes.
He didn't step.
I think
on
a
that
lot
one.
of people start out with both, throwing batons and drilling with the step. And then I think most people probably get rid of that after a little bit, but some people still do it. Kyle Weekland, on his baton throws always does the step.
I think he only steps at 4 meters now. I think
does he?
He's taken a step away at 8, I believe. Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go.
But
the last time I saw him play was at the PA Championships 2021, and I know he was taking a step.
Definitely on the blast.
Part of it. Yeah.
I don't believe he steps on the 8 anymore. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's where he's rolling his evolution there. I know, like, the squirrels in general used to all step, and now Paul doesn't do it anymore at all. I believe Neil still does sometimes, but I could be wrong.
Right, struggling with this. He had one that was under rotated and then flew 2 of them. So Drew, when he first started playing, used to do like the full, it wasn't even like a step. It was like he was getting ready to bowl. It was like, like 5 steps forward and, but
easy to foot fault that.
Yeah, it was a whole ordeal. But yeah, he got rid of that. And then, he used to do that and kind of got rid of that a few years ago, and really has just calmed the whole leg action down quite a bit since then.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know. I always tell there's some really good players, some of the best players in the country that step, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. My philosophy on the step versus no step is the step adds one more variable.
Yeah, I
That's
agree. It's kind of
I
more movement, more things going on. It's
yeah.
just
So I'm
better.
always looking to remove variables whenever possible, and just to make it help increase the consistency. And I found that the lack of a step does that for me. So,
Agree with that.
but that's the one of the unique things about Kubb is there's really there's a lot of ways to skin that cat. There's a lot of
Yeah.
ways to get the good end result, and everyone has to kind of find their own way to throw, way to grip the baton, way to grip a Kubb when you're, drilling. Um, it's just there's no right or wrong really. It's just the only wrongs are if you throw sideways batons or
Yeah.
whatever. But for the most part, it's something everyone's a little unique in that respects. I mean, obviously there are people that probably do things the same, but um, I
Yep.
think it's definitely one of the unique things is there's not like a set. Okay, it's kind of like golf. I mean,
Yeah.
golf swings are all
Everybody kind of,
unique.
yep, a little bit unique. Looks like Brian needs to get a little bit more angle on these drills. It's they're hitting and skidding and then
Yeah,
rolling out. So if you could get just a smidgen more angle on these, it would probably bite and just stop right there.
yeah,
Looks like the that was a little bit better. The it looks like the rotation is good. It's just the angle is coming in a little shallow and it's skidding when it hits.
yep. It can do that when it comes in shallow, and it can do it when it comes in too steep.
Yeah. Yeah.
So either way.
That's something that's pretty hard to see as you're throwing them as well. It's when you get a side angle like this, it's a lot easier to see that angle of the Kubb
Hmm.
as it's coming in.
Yeah, and then you have drillers that I would consider very high level. That Kyle Weekland's one of them. That throws a very flat Kubb, but it it works. So
Hmm.
I mean, yeah, you just there's ways to get this done that don't always work. As long as it works for you, I guess is the important part.
Yeah.
And so there's always advice that can be given, but it doesn't you know
The big thing
doesn't.
is get out there and play and
Hmm.
figure out what works for you. Because I know
Exactly.
I've watched players and thought, oh, well, that's a good idea. Let me try that. And then it just plain doesn't work for me. And so I don't do it. And then I've seen players do something where s- try it and I say, wow, I should have been doing this for a long time
Yeah.
because it does work. So,
You can definitely learn a lot by watching players that have more experience and that have kind of been working a longer than you have. But at the end of the day, it's worth trying. I've tried a lot of different things, and different grips, different ways to potentially to drill.
yep.
Different lengths of your backswing. Stepping
The
versus
other
not
thing I
stepping.
would say
Different
is that
feet forward.
if you go to a tournament and you're playing in a tournament and you see somebody doing something that you didn't really think about, go and ask them about it because
Hmm.
coop people are going to tell you, hey, this is why I do it. This is how I do it. This is what I think about. All very friendly and all willing to help people get better,
Yep.
especially if you're a new player. I mean, if you're a new player, these people are bonzo for Kubb and will absolutely help you out and give you all the tips they can.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know that it really matters either way. I think a lot of times more experienced players won't, especially if they're both more experienced, they won't necessarily say, well, you should think about this because you don't want to offend somebody either. But if
Hmm.
somebody asks, I'm always going to be like, yeah, sure. I'll tell
Yep.
you everything that I know if you're going to ask. Like, I don't want to, if you're newer, if you're newer and obviously newer, they might be a little more forthcoming on like, hey, maybe you should think about this. But
Yeah.
so as you get more experience, you might see less people kind of talking to you about pieces of your game unless you bring up the conversation. So,
Yep.
um,
So Drew threw one away there. He was going for the runner and it went awry. Real quick though, Mike Davids knocked off Jeremy Matson. That's the 5 seed over 4 seed. That's what I talked about in the first 2 episodes. That 5-4 matchup was going to be a tough one, and no, I think Jeremy and Mike. Jeremy snuck in there as a 4 seed with Mike as the 5. I probably would have had, the betting line probably had Mike favored in that one, but he was the 5 seed.
yeah,
So Mike gets a nice win there and advances on. But what I was saying, Drew looked like he went for the runner and just kind of blew it there. I think he was looking to close it out on that turn or at least go baseline clear, and he accomplished neither.
agreed. But he's in a really good spot here.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a pretty huge lead.
It looks like 2 rethrows. Let's see if Bryant can't get a little more angle on these Kubbs. That was not it.
Yeah, there's another penalty, it looks like. Maybe 2. Two would be pretty devastating here.
Yeah, it looks like it's one in,
Okay.
one out.
Yep.
And he still has the penalty from before that hasn't been cleared yet.
Interesting decision on this one.
Yeah, it's kind of. I think I would go a little further towards the midline, just to get a better advantage line if that were to happen.
I would agree.
It looks like that's what he's doing.
Yep.
So 6 in play. Got to think he's got to pick up some doubles here because those 2 penalty Kubbs are at tough distances.
Definitely. I'm not sure he has a double.
Yeah, the double. I mean, it could be one if he came over to the closest pin right here on those 2 on the left, but that's a tough angle for a right-hand thrower.
It's just a lot of distance, and it's hard to tell from where we are if he were to hit the dead flush on the one on the left, whether it would even double it off. Like
Yeah,
he might need to be able to kind of hit the split to get it, which he's not even going for. But
that's might be the angle of the camera showing us that it might be a little bit. It might be a possibility. Even dead on, it might not be.
No, this should be. I think this might be over.
Yeah, I believe so too. That kind of the strategy that we were talking about going with the other penalty a little bit closer to get a little bit of a better advantage line paid off.
I mean, even worst case of all worst cases, he 4 singles here. He still has a shot at it.
Yeah.
I have a hard time believing he's going to end up with 4 singles.
Yeah, you got to think there's going to be at least a double in there somewhere, possibly 2.
Yeah.
There's 2 bouncers there, but you got to think there's going to be a double in there somewhere.
Yeah, you'd think 3 worst case, probably.
Yeah. And that would leave 2 at the 8 at the baseline. So yeah, I'm going to go with over.
Yeah, looks like 1 double there, potentially 2 if he can get the right angle.
I think he's looking at which one he wants to be left at the end as a potential runner.
I'd say the farthest back one.
Yeah, so there's the double.
He's not even going for the other double. He's just going to take what's there, which is nothing wrong with that.
This is the runner that he was looking at. Yep, just not enough juice to it, but
nope.
2 shots at the baseline. People throwing batons at him to distract him.
All right. Always want to put this down to get 2 king shots.
Yeah.
And he does. Nice shot. It looks like Drew advances to the semifinals.
Yep.
Play the
And there
winner
it
of
is.
the Hikes Northrop match.
Yep. So Drew is able to knock off Bryant in the battle of the Yarmir Loggers. Bryant, 50%. That's pretty good, 2 for 4. But the struggling with his blasting, which we kind of talked about, was a bit expected. Drew, 2 Kubbs per baton blasting. That is very solid. But you know what isn't solid? 14%. That ain't solid at all.
No.
So yeah, the other final that we got during that one, Mike Davids knocking off Jeremy Matson. Dan, we saw in the first match of the day, and then Drew knocking off Bryant Cook. So Drew is going to be playing the winner of the 2-7 matchup, which is Bob and Lee. So Bob 2 seed, Lee 7 seed. Lee picking up a lot of points in the timeout matches. So 1-2-2 record on the day. Bob 4-1. His only loss was in the last round, round 5, against Dan Corey, which we saw. So yeah, last of the quarterfinals here. I gotta believe that Bob is going to have a pretty good advantage here. Bob, solid player all around. Lee is a veteran of this tournament as well as the Spring Fling. And Lee picks one up. But yeah, I'm going to have to pick Bob in this one.
I would agree. Lee and Bob played
many times.
Many times. This is last time Bob played in this one was 2020. He tends to play the even years. So 2020 he played Lee in the semifinals and beat him on his way to the win. But
Lee, veteran of this tournament, veteran of the mini shovel. So the silver bracket winner takes home the mini shovel. Lee has his name on that 3 times, I believe. So he's no rookie when it comes to this tournament.
No, he's been around the block. He doesn't necessarily play a ton. Every time I see him, he's like, I haven't played since in X number of months ago.
Yeah.
This time I think it was July. So it's been 6 months. But he always comes out, always has a good time.
Yep.
And
got a sweet mug. It's shaped like a horn.
Yes. Oh, 1 out of 3.
Lee also did play in nationals many years ago. As people in North Carolina were just learning about Kubb, he made a trip to nationals and played in nationals.
That was 2015. That was
7 years ago.
Yeah. So yeah, he made a trip to nationals then, and kind of was him and Mike Davids really helped kind of spur Kubb here in the Charlotte area.
Yep, the OGs of North Carolina Kubb.
Yes.
And that has now expanded to, so you got a good group of people here play out of Queen City Kubb, and then you got a good group of people playing out of Raleigh Kubb.
Yep.
So there's a good number of people playing Kubb here.
Yeah, that's why we have a Southern swing.
Yeah, the Southern swing. Now that I think about it, I mean, obviously Minnesota and Wisconsin are kind of the home for Kubb. You put Michigan up there too. So maybe after those 3, you got to think that North Carolina might be one of the more active states for Kubb.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say, Iowa really fell off. Iowa was definitely there for the number of the early years, from 07 to probably
Des Moines Kubb.
Yeah, so probably up until the last few years, they were extraordinarily active. I'd definitely say Minnesota and Wisconsin are the 2 most active. Illinois is up there. Michigan's definitely up there. But yeah, I'd give North Carolina. I'd put North Carolina in that kind of. They're definitely in the Michigan realm. As far as events per year, they have 3. They have 2 active clubs. So not bad.
Yep. By the way, Lee. With the 1 Kubb lead here.
Yep.
Taking the early lead.
Yeah, that 1 out of 3 for Bob to start wasn't the best. He needs to get some cubes in play and put some pressure on Lee here.
Yep. It's like 1-3 throw.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 2.
Checking that one.
2 rethrows.
Doesn't look to be the best drill.
No.
But with 3, you just want to get a double somewhere.
Yeah, 3, I usually figure with 3. Yeah, I mean, it's great if you can get them close enough to, for a triple. But I always think that when there's 2 and you throw 2, I always think the double is very difficult when there's only 2 in play. It's doubles are much easier when there's 3 in play.
Agreed.
I think that's just geometry, but yeah, it just doesn't seem to line up. Essentially with 2, if you're throwing 2 and you want a double, you have to force them both in. So yeah, you got to be very precise with your drilling to get a double with 2.
Yes, I mean, yeah. A lot of people take these low numbers for granted. They're actually the more difficult ones, and if you can be very efficient at the low numbers and get yourself more 8s,
Yeah.
That's where you really can turn this game in a hurry.
Yep.
And so I know he wasn't happy with 3 with 3. As far as the short ones, if he can put this one down and go 2 out of 3, I think that would be at least salvaging a decent turn.
Yeah.
Got it.
And a meatloaf.
Ah, I got the loaf.
I want to hear more of that meatloaf.
Yes. So yeah, he took a lead. Not what he was looking for from short. Not a good drill. Just missed a double on the first shot. Second one, maybe it was there, but wasn't really there. So good job not throwing away batons and going 2 out of 3 from 8 from there with the meatloaf. Swing this game in his favor a little bit after 2 turns.
Take the lead, get some cubes in play. Lead with a rough throw right there.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I mean, if you don't practice a lot, you don't play a lot, you're gonna just the consistency just isn't gonna be there.
Yep.
And you even see that. You see that with people that do play a lot and practice a lot. I mean, it's just the consistency will be more there, but it still won't be quite.
Yeah. You still have throws that bounce not like you were expecting. You could have, there's any number of things that can happen. Kubb can make even a good player look really silly sometimes.
Yeah. The differences really can be on those little margins. I mean, just the little things. It's like, not throwing away batons.
Agree.
Coming up with a decent 8-meter percentage when maybe you didn't have a great turn short. So it's like, oh, I took too many batons. I only get 1/8, but knocking that down. He threw a penalty here, so just not throwing penalties. Just
yep. Yeah, I think the rethrows, the penalty, taking penalties on rethrows. It's frankly, it's. Oh, that's a nice triple right there.
Great triple.
That's a little nasty blasty. Not so much for the number, but for the degree of difficulty. Yeah, just not worth it taking penalties. I mean, sometimes it happens. It's going to happen, but yeah, it's just not worth it, really.
And one thing you see with this baton, so with
clear
the throw that Lee does here, it is really flippy, but you do get he does get good baton action when he makes good contact with, especially at obviously the 4 meters. But
yes, agree. He does. Sometimes he does the on his blasting. I don't even know what you call it, where he holds the baton like down and flips it. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
gets a lot of action that way.
Yeah. I mean, most players are looking for a consistent half rotation to the 4 meter shots, mainly just so that they're not missing on baton rotation, because that could be most of people's misses are the two main misses are the baton rotation and the accuracy. But if you can get the rotation consistent, then all you have to worry about is accuracy. So usually that's why you see people try to do a half flip short, and actually in 8 meters as well. But
Yeah, I will tell you the rotation thing, just like that one, that will drive you crazy as
mhm.
a player, because you're sitting there looking at that thing flying through the air and you're saying that's all over it, and then all of a sudden it skips right over top of it, and you say, how does that happen? And then yeah, drive you nuts.
Yep. So as more consistent as you can get those rotations, the more consistent you can be. Um, but
So I'm thinking right here, 5 in play. Bob's looking to go take these out with maybe two.
yeah, he's
Two or
looking to win.
three. I was going to say he's looking to at least go baseline clear right here.
Yeah, every turn after two, you got to be looking for the win, and always trying to put yourself in position to get the win in three if you can. 5 with 2 would be a good number. Put him in position, at least try for it. So that's what we're looking for here. Yeah, baseline clear would be great as well. Put him in great position for 4 turns, that is.
Yep.
But this drill, eh,
Yeah, it's okay.
yeah,
It looks like depend how he hits the two on the right, there might be a triple, and depending how that front one goes, there might even be a quad there. But you might be asking for a lot.
yeah. I think that's
Yeah,
a nice
there's the
double.
double. Oh, that's a good runner too.
Ran that all the way back.
Yeah, so let's see.
Um,
There might be a triple here.
yeah, he's got to hit this split perfectly though.
Yeah,
Nope. So
that's it.
that's the danger. You go for the split, you hit the single, and then you end up with potentially. I mean,
Now you got single, single. There is no double
unless
there.
unless yeah,
Oh, there is a double.
there is a double there. It's just you gotta get it's the rotation of the baton. You're using the 45. It's not obviously it's not illegal, but just to get that kick out
Yeah,
is what he got there. But yeah, so he snuck away with red zone.
yep.
So he's got a Kubb blocking here.
Yeah, he's
I don't
got
know
some
if it'll
junk in
help
the
or hurt
front.
him.
Oh, negatives, Ghost Rider.
Yeah, he was fortunate to get the group in 3. Oh, just missed it.
So Lee's hanging around. Lee
He
took the
is.
early lead, but then has been struggling with his drill sense, and hasn't been able to get to 8.
Yep.
So 6 in play. Gonna need to pick up some triples, hopefully.
Yeah, definitely. So the one thing too is if you want to be consistent on everything. He's putting out a nice drill here.
Yep.
Obviously if you can get every piece of the game consistent as possible, everything's easier. One thing you can find if you become extraordinarily consistent and basically an elite blaster, really, like just say if any piece of your game is elite, especially if it's blasting, you have a little more leeway potentially on the groups because you can kind of baton your way out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And still get to your number of batons per cube, even though the drill might not always be 100% there. And so, obviously, if you get the drill and the blast to be elite status, then you're going to get so many eights that maybe you get away with not as good of an 8 meter percentage because you're getting way more eights than your opponents. But that was unfortunate. That didn't look like a
That
bad
was
shot. It just rocked 2 of them.
Yeah, moved
I
them
mean,
both. They both moved and then decided to stay
yeah,
up.
this looks like it would probably be 3 batons. I mean, a triple in the middle and then 2 singles.
Yep.
Unless he can kick out and get one of those other ones on this shot. Oh,
Like that, except
yeah.
you still left the 3 in front, so you're still
Yeah.
probably looking at 3 from
I
here.
didn't realize because of the brown that was a double on the side. I totally miscounted my cubes there, but now he's looking at 3 singles.
Still does have a shot at an 8.
Yeah. Still
Still a
does.
single. Yep.
Oh, nice.
He's got a shot at an 8.
Yep.
This is big. 7 in play versus 6 in play. It's gonna make a big difference. Nope.
I know. All right.
Well, Bob is Bob another chance here.
Yeah, this
I gotta believe this. He's got a decent chance at winning it right here.
Yeah. 6 in play. He's looking to win here. This is turn 4. But we'll see. Apparently, we didn't put the pin back in.
Oopsie. So just while we got a second here going through the Atlantic Kubb Tour points here. So players who didn't make it into the championship bracket, they all get 5 points for participation. The rest of these guys will be getting additional points for their finish. I don't know what all those points are. Well, everyone who loses in this quarterfinal will be getting T5 points, and I believe those are 5. So everyone who loses in this round right here will be getting a total of 10 points. I think that's how it works. Winner gets 15. I think second gets 12. 10 for third, 9. I can't remember, but something in that general area.
Sounds right to me.
Yeah, I know winner gets 15 extra, second gets 12. Or second gets 12, something like that. I can't remember. But so anyway, everyone who loses in this quarterfinals will be getting T5 points.
This looks like a nice drill.
It does.
Oh, a little low.
Yeah.
Not pleased with that one at all.
No. He got 3 maybe out of that.
Yeah, there's another
2, I think. So he's got 1 left.
Yeah, it was either 2 at the first or 3 with the second, or vice versa. I don't know which. All right, put himself
still
in the red zone.
He's got two shots at the 8. If he's going to close it out here. Oh, that's gonna.
Those are 2 not very good shots either.
Yeah, he's not going to be happy with that.
Key to knock this one down. Go baseline clear. There you go. At least he put a good shot on the last one. The first 2 were pretty ugly.
So Lee is going to have to pick up some 8s here, or this one is going to be over.
Yeah. 7 in play. I mean, Lee's got to be worried about giving a line here as well.
Yeah.
He's got to put a decent drill and hopefully get some good baton shots because he does not want to give a line. So far, so good.
Yeah, looks to be good. So 3 left. 2 left. Now 1 left.
It's gonna rethrow. Looks like
it's gonna be a rethrow.
At least 2 or 3. No, maybe not. So hard.
Or 1.
It's so hard to see that stake.
Yeah.
It looks like then he forced in the other 2 on the side. Not bad.
Yeah, not bad. I mean, you get some breaks there. You might be able to get it in 3. Probably more likely 4 at best. If you get a good, decent blast here, you're going to get some shots at the at 8.
Yep. Yeah, it's not terrible. It's doable. There's some gaps there, though.
Yeah, you're going to have to. I mean, you're going to have to be on it. You can't waste any. And that's not how you want it. You don't want to pick up singles like that.
No. Needs a double somewhere. Hopefully more than one.
I think there might be a double on the right and then another double kind of in the middle.
Yep. Oh, fortunate
playing
though.
With fire.
Fortunate.
Yeah. Well, here are the 2 doubles. It looks like he's
doesn't always have to be pretty, Stu.
No, it doesn't. As long as it happens, that's all that matters.
There's no like extra points for beautiful shots. Just they gotta go down. Got to be legal and they gotta go down.
Looks like he's going for the double. Oh, I don't know what he's doing.
I think he's going for this double on the edge here.
This is what I was looking at for a double and then another double, and then you're gonna have a single.
Yep. Oh,
that's not the single. That's not how you wanted to do it.
No.
I'm sure. I mean, that's not how he wanted to do it. I'm sure.
No, I'm sure. All right.
So we almost got the kick there.
So we got 2 batons left.
Yeah, I think so. So you still have that double there, but now you're in a pressure clear scenario. Unless you get a triple, which seems tough. He's taking the green in order to try it though. Or not. Or whoop, 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 whoop.
Whoop.
He's going for it. Ah.
All right, this looks tough.
Oh, this looks real tough.
Taking the Hail Mary.
He's going for it. Yep.
I don't think he has a choice. I think he has to go for it. You got to make sure.
Bob's baseline clear, so you have to clear this somehow. So it's like pulling the goalie. You might as well try for it.
No! Oh, and he got gorgeous!
What a shot! That was nasty.
Fantastic.
Again, not due to quantity, but that was a shot right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was beautiful.
A tough angle, and he was able to pick it up.
Definitely.
Bob is still baseline clear, so
yeah, I mean, it's huge. It doesn't give him a line. It's only 7, which
the degree of difficulty went up by quite a bit.
It did.
It wasn't very much to begin with, so
it's still over. But it's at least we have to think about it being over.
Yeah, you got to get you still got to get a good drill. You can't be throwing them all over the place. So yeah, I think this one's still over, but I've seen crazier things happen.
Yeah, no, I mean he always, he's not going to take his foot off the gas anyway. But now it's like, all right, let's just make sure we get this 7 and 3, 4, maybe worst case, and get out of here.
Whoa.
Yeah, that was a little aggressive.
Yeah.
But he's filling it up. As long as that one's in, which...
Yeah, I think the post saved him on that one. I think it hit the post and stayed in.
Yep. All right. Yeah, this is over. That's a nice drill.
That's a nice drill, and as long as he gets it in 5, it's over.
The other key here is, he didn't throw a penalty. I mean, you don't ever want to throw a penalty when you're baseline clear. Or actually, you never want to throw one anytime, but really, you don't want to throw one now. So it looks like he's got a good shot at getting this, maybe even 3 or less.
Yeah, I would think.
I mean, he might be able to pull out 6 with the first one here.
Oh, what a shot! Nasty blasty. 7 with 1. That's a nasty. And we're getting a replay too. Watch this. No, just nasty. That last one wanted to go.
Yeah, that
Even Lee is giving it up for that one. And that game is over. Yep. So Bob advances. So we have our semifinal set up. So it's going to be Bob and Drew and Mike and Dan. Bob, yeah, 7 with 1 is going to help out your blasting numbers. 2 coops per baton, 42%. Lee, 1.2, 22% hurts. But no advantage lines, so it's a solid play there. So like I said here, Dan Corey, number 1 seed against Mike Davids, 5 seed, Drew 3 seed against Bob 2 seed. Next week we are going to cover both of these semifinal matches as two separate episodes. So next week we're going to have that Bob Drew matchup, and then in the week after that we're going to have that Mike Dan matchup. Okay. So here we are. We've made it to the final 4. Still plugging along to see who gets their name on the shovel and gets to take max points in the Atlantic Coupe Tour. That won't be Cousin Dave. We'll see who does it over the next few episodes. So tune in next week. Thanks for watching. Next week we'll have some semifinal action. Sven, anything else?
No real big surprises here with that top 4. That's who I would have favored probably in the top 4. There should be. I think we're gonna reset with a good semifinal matches here, and it's gonna be exciting to see what happens. We got 4 good players, so let's go.
I agree. So next week we're up to best 2 out of 3s for the semifinals. So tune in and we'll see what happens. Could be anything. That's all we've got. Bazooka.